The moment you found this message was not random. Out of millions of videos, millions of posts, and endless noise on the internet, somehow your eyes landed here, and the universe does not make mistakes like that. There is a reason your energy was guided here today. There is a reason your soul paused for a second when you saw these words. And the reason is deeper than you think. Your future spouse, the person whose life is mysteriously connected to yours, is closer than you realize right now. In fact, there is a powerful symbol surrounding their life at this very moment, something connected to a police house, a place of authority, protection, discipline, and karmic balance. And the universe is revealing this symbol not to confuse you, but to prepare you. Because the path between you and them is quietly unfolding behind the scenes. Your future spouse may currently live near a police station, work near a police house, pass by one daily, or have some connection with law, authority, or protection. But the deeper truth is not just the location, it is the meaning behind it. The police house represents protection, justice, and destiny correcting itself. And this is the sign the universe is showing you: the love meant for you is protected by divine timing. Even if your paths have not crossed yet, even if right now you feel like you are walking alone, the universe has already positioned someone whose soul resonates with yours. Your future spouse is someone who has been through intense emotional tests. They are not someone who believes in shallow connections. Life has made them strong. They have faced moments where they had to stand alone, defend themselves, or protect others. In many ways, they carry the spirit of a protector. Even if they are not literally a police officer, their energy reflects someone who values loyalty, honesty, and justice. And this is why the universe is showing you the symbol of a police house. It is not just about a building. It is about the kind of person they are becoming before meeting you. Right now, somewhere not too far in the timeline of your life, this person is going through a transformation. They are learning discipline. They are learning responsibility. They are learning how to stand strong in the face of chaos. Because the universe knows that when they finally enter your life, they must be ready. Ready to protect your heart. Ready to respect your soul. Ready to stand beside you when life tests you both. And here is the strange part that many people do not realize: sometimes before soulmates meet, their lives move through symbolic places. Hospitals represent healing. Temples represent spiritual awakening. And a police house represents the balancing of karma and the arrival of truth. Which means the universe is preparing both of you for a moment where everything suddenly makes sense. You might feel lately that life has been giving you strange signs. Maybe you keep seeing police vehicles. Maybe you pass by a police station more often than before. Maybe someone around you recently mentioned something related to police or authority. These small moments are not accidents. They are subtle signals the universe uses to guide your awareness. Because your soul already senses that something important is approaching. And your future spouse, whether they know it or not, is also being guided. They might not even understand why certain situations are happening in their life right now. Maybe they recently had to deal with authority, responsibility, or some kind of serious life decision. Maybe they are standing at a crossroads where they are being asked to become a stronger version of themselves. And this transformation is necessary. Because soulmate connections are never random meetings between two unprepared people. The universe carefully prepares both hearts before allowing them to collide. Imagine two rivers flowing through completely different landscapes. One passes through mountains, storms, and rocky paths. The other flows through forests, silence, and deep valleys. They travel separately for years, sometimes believing they will never meet another river like themselves. But eventually the geography of the earth brings them together at one powerful intersection. And when they meet, they create something bigger than either one alone. That is what your connection will feel like. But before that meeting happens, the universe must guide each river through its own lessons. Your future spouse is currently in a chapter where they are learning structure and strength. The police house symbol is showing that their life right now revolves around responsibility, discipline, and protection. They might be someone people rely on. Someone who carries pressure silently. Someone who has had to be strong for others even when they themselves felt exhausted inside. And deep down, they are also waiting for a person who understands their heart beyond the strong exterior. That person is you. Your energy is softer, intuitive, and deeply emotional. Where they bring protection, you bring understanding. Where they bring structure, you bring warmth. Where they stand guard against the world, you remind them that love can still exist in a complicated life. This balance is exactly why the universe is orchestrating your paths. But timing is sacred. Many people try to force love before both souls are ready. And when that happens, connections break. But in your case, the universe is being extremely precise. Every delay you experienced, every moment when a relationship almost happened but didn't, every time someone entered your life and then disappeared, those were not failures. Those were adjustments. The universe was protecting the timeline where your real soulmate appears at the right moment. Because when you finally meet this person, something inside you will immediately feel familiar. Not because you have seen them before, but because your soul recognizes the frequency of theirs. It will feel like meeting someone you somehow already understand. Conversations will flow naturally. Silence will feel peaceful instead of awkward. And the strange part is that the meeting itself might happen in an ordinary moment. Maybe near a street connected to a police house. Maybe during a routine day where neither of you expected anything life-changing to occur. That is how the universe loves to work. Destiny rarely arrives with loud announcements. It arrives quietly, like a door opening in a hallway you walked through 1,000 times before. But once that door opens, your life never looks the same again. And this is why you were guided to hear this message today. Not to make you impatient, but to make you aware. Your future spouse exists. They are moving through their life right now, learning lessons, building strength, preparing their heart. And the symbol of the police house is a reminder that your connection is protected by the universe itself. No misunderstanding, no delay, and no outside interference can destroy what is truly meant for you. The only thing the universe asks from you right now is trust. Trust that your path is unfolding exactly as it should. Trust that the love meant for you is not lost, not delayed forever, and not given to someone else. Your soulmate is not a missed opportunity, they are an inevitable meeting waiting for the correct moment. And when that moment arrives, you will look back at this time in your life and realize something incredible. Every strange sign, every intuitive feeling, every message that somehow reached you, was gently guiding you toward the person who was always destined to walk beside you. And somewhere not too far from where their life is unfolding, near a place symbolized by authority, protection, and karmic balance, your future spouse is unknowingly getting closer to the moment where your two stories finally become one. And even though right now it may feel like you and this person exist in completely separate worlds, the truth is your energies are already moving closer together with every passing day. The universe works in layers that the human eye cannot easily see. While you are living your routine, thinking about your future, wondering when the right person will finally appear, the universe is quietly rearranging situations, locations, and timing. Every step you take, every decision you make, every place you visit becomes a small piece of a larger design that is slowly bringing you and your future spouse into the same orbit. The symbol of the police house continues to appear in your spiritual message because it represents a turning point where life becomes serious, where responsibility and destiny intersect. Your future spouse may currently be someone who has recently taken on a role of responsibility, someone who has had to stand firm in difficult situations. Perhaps they have faced conflicts in their life recently, situations where truth and justice mattered deeply. These experiences are shaping their character in powerful ways. They are learning how to protect what they care about. They are learning the value of honesty even when it is difficult. And most importantly, they are learning the difference between temporary connections and real loyalty. All of this preparation is not random. The universe is building them into the person who will eventually stand beside you as a partner who does not run when life becomes complicated. Someone who does not disappear when challenges appear. Someone who stays. That is why their journey right now is intense. Sometimes people who are meant to become strong partners must pass through tests that shape their integrity. And while they are learning these lessons, your journey is also unfolding in its own unique way. You have been learning emotional depth. You have been learning patience. You have been learning how to recognize genuine energy versus illusion. Maybe in the past you trusted people who were not meant to stay. Maybe you gave your heart to situations that eventually faded away. At the time it may have felt painful or confusing, but those experiences were not meaningless. They were teaching your soul to recognize the difference between temporary attraction and true soul alignment. Because when your real soulmate appears, the connection will not feel like chaos or confusion. It will feel steady. It will feel grounding. It will feel like two people finally finding a place where they can breathe without pretending to be someone else. Your future spouse carries that energy. They may have a serious side to their personality, someone who does not reveal their emotions easily to everyone. People around them may see them as disciplined, responsible, maybe even a little mysterious. But beneath that surface is someone who longs for a deep connection where they can finally let their guard down. The police house symbol reflects the protective walls they have built around themselves after experiencing life's challenges. Those walls were necessary for their survival during difficult phases of their journey. But when the right person enters their life, those walls slowly begin to soften. That person will be you. Your presence in their life will feel like a safe place where they no longer need to constantly be strong. You will see the parts of them that others never notice. The quiet kindness behind their serious expression. The gentle heart hidden beneath their disciplined exterior. And when that moment arrives, both of you will realize that every strange twist of fate that brought you there was not coincidence. It was design. There is also something else the universe wants you to understand. Sometimes before soulmates meet, there is a period where both individuals unknowingly pass through locations or symbols connected to each other's destiny. The police house in your message may represent an actual place that becomes part of your meeting story. Perhaps a street near a police station, a neighborhood where authority buildings stand, or even a moment when something related to protection or law brings your paths into the same environment. These moments often seem ordinary at first, but later they become unforgettable memories because they were the starting point of something much bigger. Imagine walking through a normal day, thinking about your responsibilities, unaware that just a few steps away someone is about to enter your life in a way that changes everything. The universe loves these quiet dramatic moments where destiny appears in the middle of everyday life. And that is why this message reached you now. Not to rush the process, but to prepare your awareness so when the moment finally arrives, you recognize it instead of overlooking it. Your future spouse may already feel a strange pull in their life right now. They might be feeling that something is about to shift. Sometimes people on the verge of meeting their soulmate experience an unexplained restlessness, a feeling that their current chapter is ending and a new one is about to begin. They may not know why they feel this way, but deep down their soul senses that change is approaching. And at the same time, your soul is also becoming more aware. Maybe recently you have been thinking more about the kind of partner you truly want. Maybe you have been reflecting on what real love should feel like. These thoughts are not random either. They are signals that your energy is aligning with the frequency of the person meant for you. When two soul paths begin to synchronize, the universe starts sending subtle reminders that something meaningful is approaching. The symbol of the police house is one of those reminders. It represents the moment where protection, responsibility, and truth converge. It symbolizes a connection that is not built on illusions but on honesty and strength. And your future spouse embodies those qualities more than you realize. They may not be perfect, because no human is perfect, but they are someone who values loyalty in a world where loyalty often feels rare. They are someone who believes that love should be protected, not treated carelessly. When they finally meet you, they will not approach the connection lightly. They will recognize the significance of it almost immediately, even if they do not say it out loud at first. Because people who have learned discipline and responsibility tend to observe deeply before expressing their emotions. But the connection will grow steadily, like a strong structure being built brick by brick. There will be respect, understanding, and an unspoken feeling that both of you have finally found someone who truly understands your spirit. And one day, when you both look back at the path that brought you together, you will notice something fascinating. The signs were always there. The universe had been leaving small clues all along. Messages that seemed mysterious at first, symbols that appeared randomly, feelings that were difficult to explain. All of them were guiding you toward the same destination. The person whose life is somehow connected to a place of protection and authority, a person whose heart has been shaped by experiences that prepared them to meet someone exactly like you. So if right now you feel like you are still waiting, do not interpret that waiting as emptiness. Waiting in the language of the universe is preparation. It is the quiet moment before two timelines intersect. Your future spouse is real, their life is unfolding, and with every day that passes the distance between your two paths becomes smaller. The moment of recognition is approaching slowly but surely, like sunrise appearing after a long night. And when it finally happens, the entire journey will suddenly make sense. The strange signs, the unexpected feelings, even the symbol of the police house that once seemed mysterious will become part of a story that proves something powerful, that the universe sometimes protects certain connections so carefully that when they finally appear, they feel less like coincidence and more like destiny revealing itself exactly when the time is right. And as the universe continues weaving the invisible threads between your life and the life of your future spouse, something even deeper is unfolding that most people never realize until much later. Destiny does not simply bring two people together randomly. It slowly aligns their inner worlds so that when the meeting finally happens, both souls are capable of recognizing what they have found. Right now there are moments in your life that may seem ordinary, small routines, quiet evenings, days that pass without anything dramatic happening. But hidden inside those ordinary moments, your awareness is expanding. You are learning how to listen to your intuition. You are learning how to notice subtle signs that others might ignore. And that awareness is exactly what will allow you to recognize the presence of the person meant for you when the universe places them in your path. Meanwhile, somewhere not too far from your timeline, your future spouse is also walking through experiences that are shaping their perception of love and commitment. The symbol of the police house keeps appearing in this message because it reflects the environment of seriousness and accountability that surrounds their life right now. They may be connected to a place where discipline is respected and decisions carry weight. Even if they are not directly part of law enforcement, they may frequently pass by such places, work near them, or live in a neighborhood where that presence is strong. This environment has influenced their personality in ways that make them reliable, protective, and grounded. These are not the qualities of someone who plays with emotions. These are the qualities of someone who values stability, someone who believes that relationships should be built on trust rather than temporary excitement. The universe is showing you this symbol so you understand that your future partner is not someone who approaches life carelessly. They are someone who has learned that choices have consequences and that loyalty is something sacred. That kind of mindset is rare, and it is exactly why the universe is carefully orchestrating the moment when your paths finally cross. There may have been times in your life when you wondered why certain connections never lasted. Maybe you met people who seemed promising at first but eventually faded away. At the time it might have felt like disappointment, but those endings were not failures. They were protections. The universe was quietly ensuring that your energy remained available for the person who truly belongs in your life. Because when two souls that are meant to walk together finally meet, the connection feels very different from anything that came before. It does not feel rushed or forced. It feels natural, like two people recognizing a familiar rhythm in each other's presence. Conversations flow easily. Silence feels comfortable instead of awkward. And there is an unspoken understanding that both of you have arrived at a moment that somehow feels important, even if you cannot immediately explain why. Your future spouse carries a quiet strength that will surprise you. Many people may see them as serious or reserved at first, but beneath that exterior is a person who feels deeply and cares profoundly about the people they allow into their life. Because of the responsibilities they have carried and the environments they have navigated, they have learned to guard their heart carefully. They do not trust easily, but when they finally do, their loyalty becomes unshakable. And this is where your energy enters the picture. You possess a kind of emotional awareness that allows you to see beyond someone's outer appearance. Where others might only notice their disciplined personality, you will notice the warmth hidden underneath it. You will recognize the kindness in small gestures, the sincerity in the way they speak, and the quiet vulnerability they rarely show to anyone else. This mutual recognition is what will allow the connection to deepen naturally. The universe often brings together two people whose strengths balance each other perfectly. Your future spouse offers stability, protection, and determination. You offer emotional depth, understanding, and intuition. Together those qualities create a partnership that feels complete rather than fragile. And when that partnership begins, it will feel like something in your life has finally aligned after a long period of searching. Another interesting truth about soulmate connections is that they often begin in the most ordinary circumstances. Many people expect destiny to arrive with dramatic signs or overwhelming events, but in reality the universe often introduces soulmates in quiet, simple moments. Perhaps you are passing through a familiar street. Perhaps you are completing an everyday task. Perhaps you are near a place connected to authority or protection, like the symbol of the police house that keeps appearing in this message. And in that seemingly ordinary moment, your paths intersect in a way that changes everything. At first the meeting may feel casual, even accidental. But as time passes, you will both start noticing small coincidences that make the connection feel strangely meaningful. Maybe your conversations reveal unexpected similarities. Maybe you discover that your life paths have crossed indirectly before. Maybe you realize that both of you have been searching for the same qualities in a partner without even knowing it. These discoveries slowly build a sense that your meeting was not random at all. It was the result of countless unseen circumstances aligning at the perfect moment. The universe works like a master storyteller, arranging events in ways that only make sense when you look back at them later. What seems like coincidence in the present often becomes obvious destiny in hindsight. And when you and your future spouse eventually reflect on how your story began, the small details will stand out in a way that feels almost magical. The location, the timing, the circumstances that placed you both in the same environment, everything will appear as if it was designed specifically to bring you together. But for now, the most important thing the universe wants you to remember is patience. Real connections that are protected by destiny are never rushed. They unfold gradually so that both people are emotionally ready to receive them. If the meeting happened too early, before either of you had learned the lessons your journeys required, the relationship might not have been able to grow into its full potential. That is why timing matters so much. Every day that passes is another step toward the alignment of your paths. Even when nothing dramatic seems to be happening, the universe is still working quietly behind the scenes, adjusting circumstances and guiding both of you closer to the same moment in time. And somewhere not far from the present moment, your future spouse is living their life, unaware that someone out there is already being guided toward them by invisible forces of destiny. They may occasionally feel a sense that something important is approaching, even if they cannot explain it. Perhaps they feel more reflective about their future. Perhaps they are thinking more seriously about the kind of partner they hope to find someday. These thoughts are subtle signals that their energy is beginning to align with yours. When two souls are destined to meet, the universe often prepares them simultaneously, shaping their expectations and emotional readiness so that when they finally stand face to face, both of them are open to the connection that begins forming between them. The symbol of the police house continues to remind you that this connection carries an element of protection. It is not fragile or temporary. It is something that the universe itself is guiding carefully, ensuring that when it finally arrives in your life, it has the strength to last. And when that day comes, you will realize that every sign you received along the way was leading you toward a person whose presence feels both new and strangely familiar at the same time. Someone whose strength complements your sensitivity, whose discipline balances your intuition, and whose loyalty creates a foundation where love can grow without fear. In that moment the waiting will make sense, the signs will become clear, and the quiet message that once spoke about a future spouse standing near a place of protection will reveal itself as a symbol of the destiny that was patiently guiding both of you toward the exact moment when your two lives were finally meant to become one path moving forward together. And as this final chapter of the message unfolds, the universe wants you to understand something that many people spend years trying to realize. Destiny is rarely loud. It does not usually arrive with dramatic announcements or obvious signals that everyone can see. Instead, destiny moves quietly through ordinary days, ordinary streets, and ordinary moments until suddenly one small moment becomes the doorway to a completely different life. The reason you were guided through this message, the reason the symbol of the police house kept appearing again and again, is because the universe was preparing your awareness for the moment when the invisible thread between you and your future spouse becomes visible. Somewhere in the flow of your life there is a moment waiting, a moment that at first will look simple but will carry the energy of something much bigger. Your future spouse, the person whose journey has been running parallel to yours all this time, is not just someone you will meet randomly. They are someone whose path has been shaped by responsibility, discipline, and a deep understanding of what it means to protect something valuable. The police house symbol was never just about a physical place. It represents the energy surrounding their life right now. It represents order, accountability, and the quiet strength of someone who stands firm even when life becomes complicated. That strength is part of what will make them such an important presence in your future. Because relationships that last are not built only on emotion or attraction. They are built on stability, respect, and the willingness to stand beside someone even during difficult seasons of life. Your future spouse carries that quality within them. They may not always show it openly, but their life experiences have taught them that love is something worth protecting, not something to be treated lightly. And this is where your energy becomes the perfect counterpart to theirs. You bring understanding, compassion, and emotional depth into the connection. Where their life may have taught them discipline, your life has taught you empathy. Where they have learned to stand strong, you have learned to feel deeply. When these two energies meet, something powerful happens. It creates a balance where both people can finally relax into their true selves without feeling like they need to hide parts of who they are. The universe understands this balance, and that is why it has been guiding both of you carefully toward the same intersection in time. There were moments when your journey felt confusing. Times when you wondered why certain people entered your life only to disappear again. Times when you questioned whether the love meant for you would ever truly appear. But those moments were not empty. They were shaping your understanding of what real connection feels like. Every experience, every lesson, every unexpected turn was quietly preparing you for the person whose presence will feel different from anything that came before. Because when your future spouse finally enters your life, there will be a calm recognition between both of you. It may not happen in a dramatic or overwhelming way. In fact, it might begin with a simple conversation, a shared glance, or a moment where both of you realize that talking to each other feels strangely natural. That is the subtle magic of soulmate connections. They do not need to prove themselves loudly. Their authenticity reveals itself slowly but unmistakably. As days turn into weeks and conversations become deeper, you will begin to notice the qualities that make this person different from anyone you met before. Their loyalty will show in the way they keep their promises. Their protective nature will appear in the way they care about your well-being. Their strength will be visible in the way they face challenges without running away. And little by little, you will realize that the universe did not delay this connection without reason. It waited until both of you were strong enough, wise enough, and emotionally ready enough to appreciate what you had found in each other. The police house symbol that once seemed mysterious will eventually become a detail in the story of how everything began. Perhaps it will be a place you passed near when you first met. Perhaps it will be part of the neighborhood where your paths crossed. Or perhaps it will remain a symbolic reminder of the protection and order that surrounded your connection from the very beginning. However it appears in the final story, you will eventually understand why the universe kept showing it to you. It was a sign that the love meant for you was not chaotic or temporary. It was structured, protected, and guided by forces far greater than coincidence. And when the day finally arrives where you and your future spouse look back at the beginning of your journey together, you will see the path more clearly than you can now. You will remember the signs that once felt mysterious. You will remember the strange feeling that something important was approaching even before you knew exactly what it was. And you will realize that the universe had been quietly guiding you both through separate experiences until the exact moment when your two lives were ready to merge into one shared future. From that moment forward, the journey will no longer feel like a search. It will feel like a partnership where both of you move through life side by side, supporting each other, protecting each other, and building something meaningful together. The waiting will transform into gratitude. The uncertainty will transform into clarity. And the message that once reached you during a quiet moment will become the first chapter of a story that proves something powerful about destiny. Some connections are so carefully protected by the universe that no distance, no delay, and no confusion can prevent them from eventually finding their way into existence. Your future spouse is part of that kind of connection. They are walking their path right now, just as you are walking yours. And every step both of you take is slowly guiding you closer to the moment when destiny finally brings you face to face, revealing that everything you experienced before was leading you toward a love that was never random, never accidental, and never meant to pass you by.